We got Don Hayduck here from the health department, and he's going to answer some questions about the COVID vaccine that we have coming up. And I think a couple of questions about COVID in general. Can you combine the vaccines, or does it have to be the same company that is for each dose?
Well, that question has come up several weeks ago as well, because for obvious reasons. And only in an extreme emergency situation should one do that. Okay. It hasn't been shown. Both of the vaccines right now are using the same technique, using messenger RNA to bring a protein into your body to get the body to create antibodies to the virus. They're using exactly the same process. And so it's probably at the end of the day okay, but the recommendation is absolutely not. And also to try to make sure that nobody has to actually do that, is the state is keeping very close track as to which vaccine goes to which county and when. So for instance, as an example, about 4 weeks ago, we got some supply of Moderna vaccine for first doses. We do a first dose clinic with that vaccine because we know the state is holding back an equivalent amount of vaccine of Moderna to give us 4 weeks down the road to do the second doses. And that's how we're rolling these things out. It's almost like playing a game of leapfrog with these vaccines. And so we know who got the first doses, we know what vaccine they got, and we know when to contact them to come in for their second one, as well as they have the ability when they make their first appointment to actually, we encourage them to make their second appointment. And in some cases, we just do it for them, especially in the case of senior citizens and other key groups.
Kind of a combination to something we talked about earlier, which is not only does the vaccine work with the new variants of the disease, but how does the vaccine work with the new variants of the disease?
Well, the variants are very, very close copies of the original virus. What viruses do is they'll go through a little small single mutation. And in most cases, that mutation is a dead end and it actually is detrimental to the virus. But once in a while, it actually adds an advantage to the virus. Now, it's not a huge change. It's never a huge change, but it is something that changes slightly on the virus itself that makes it either one, more communicable, or two, more severe, or a combination of both. Okay, and so with these vaccines, generally speaking, they are targeting the 99.9% of the virus. And then there's just this little part of the mutant. And so it does provide good efficacy. It might be a little bit less instead of 94%. I think what they're finding in the UK is it's somewhere in the 80% range, 85%, which is still a very, very high efficacy rate. The jury's still out for the South African variant. They don't have enough data at this point in time. But that might be actually a little bit lower than 80. It might actually be somewhere in the 60s, which is generally speaking what we achieve with flu vaccines is somewhere in the 60 to 70% efficacy. And that's a good flu vaccine.
That's very interesting. Thank you.